My name is Kazm Vulfhart, aka King Kazm, whatever you want to call me, and welcome back to Pokémon Violet, the Bug-type Gym Leader run. And we're going to continue our filler, but in a little different way. I want to show you guys as much of this game as possible if I can. And we're first going to start by taking a class. Dog hair everywhere. I don't want to be tardy for my classes. Hello, my name is Jacques. And he's our biology teacher. I make it sound so awkward, don't I? Or do I sound awkward? I wonder. Sorry, I mowed yesterday and I have still got grass in my lungs. In my class, we are all about various quirks of our beloved Pokemon together. I hope you all come to love Pokemon even more from the things you learn here. In today's class, I'll teach you a great way. Why are we allowed to wear hats in class? To get to know your Pokemon in depth. Why is that a thing that people don't like? Is that people wear hats in class? Feels more like a distraction to the teacher than to the students. Give me a minute. Oh yeah, he's talking about the... what's it called? The Let's Go feature. Near the water, inside built. See, this is weird. This is a weird one. The correct answer should be inside buildings. But you see a lot of people walking around with their Pokemon inside buildings, so it's like a trick question almost. Now, granted, the argument can be said like, oh, because those Pokemon that are out walking around can't really destroy the building and stuff like that. However, keep in mind, in this school alone, a majority of them are Ghost-type Pokemon that cause harm to people. There's a Gengar at the front desk. You tell me how that's safe. If I remember correctly, I think walking them together increases friendship as well. Now these classes are going to be like super easy for us, because they're basically tutorials on what the game offers. More biology, give me. Yes. They're supposed to be tutorials for how the game works, to show newer players who aren't aware of how Pokemon works, how the game works. At least that's what I assumed Game Freak wanted them to be. Picnics. You can get them all around the picnic table and play. Yeah, I forgot. You can play Sugaro. Or is it Suguru? I think it's Sugaro. Suguwaru. I think it's Sugawara. How do I keep getting a dog hair in my mouth? Or is it just the same dog hair and I can't get it out of my mouth? Eggs. For a second, my brain wasn't registering what the statement was. This is very important. This very important something is what Pokemon are born from. Let's say it all together. Eggs. My brain, for some reason, wasn't reading that correctly. That's why it threw me off. Honestly, Pokemon takes hatching a Pokemon. So I haven't done it in this game. But you can breed Pokemon to get eggs. I've said it. I'll probably say it in every single one of my Pokemon series that can have the feature, for the sole purpose of whoever joins or whoever watches my series, they might not have experience with Pokemon, and whatever series they end up starting with, like this could be their first experience with a Pokemon game. And if it is, welcome. Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well today. But Pokemon breed together to make eggs. It's usually always the female of the Pokemon. So if you breed a... My brain's not drawing examples, oh no. I mean, the only example it's drawing is the Skitty and the Wailord. Regardless, though. The egg happens... But Pokemon takes a really interesting turn with it in that they... Every time I pause, it's because I have a dog hair in my mouth. It's like they laid on top of me while I was sleeping. Phrasing. But normally with eggs, you will have a feature to leave them in an incubator and then they hatch, or you put them in a temperature-controlled environment like an Ark, or in games like Monster Hunter Stories or Dragon Quest Monster, Dragon Warrior Monster, I'm sorry, that is the technical name for it, the egg will hatch after you just say hatch the egg. And doing this causes the eggs to hatch, obviously, and that leads to whatever's inside of it to come out for you to use as a part of your party. Pokemon takes it in a different route because what they do... I need to be reading this because I keep looking away while I talk. What they do is they make it so that you have to walk with the egg in order to warm it up, which under normal circumstances is a bad idea with any form of egg, because eggs are supposed to be in safe, properly temped environments. So, the fact that you warm an egg up by walking with it in Pokemon is an interesting concept on the entire gimmick. Because egg hatching in video games has actually been a thing for a very long time. Successful, inflict them with a status condition is the right one. I'm glad the question stays up on the screen. But yeah, it's an interesting concept in games that have a lot of monster catching and stuff like that. Pal World is a good example where you will breed two monsters, or you breed two pals, and then you put them, the egg, in an incubator, and then you have to wait a certain number of time. I need to record another Pal World episode. Stuff's been happening IRL lately that's been making it difficult to record, and I've also been trying to focus more on getting a backlog done and recording extra series. Biology midterm, here we go, it's a test time. Backlog is slowly getting made. Slowly, very slowly. It's just... It's hard for me to catch it breaking a breather. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the answer is B, the ZR button. Combine one letter and one number. When and where to find eggs. It is A2. During picnics. Oh god, I looked at the timer! Test anxiety's coming back! Actually, interesting tidbit about test anxiety. So, from what I understand, what will not make it easier giving them a button? Giving them a button? Giving them a berry. Technically speaking, inflicting them with poison doesn't really do much. It just makes it easier for them to tick away at their health. I think it does provide a slight. Gym badges. It's easy to use. I should have said I don't use it that much. I'm telling the director! I'm ratting you out! I don't think there are many of each of these classes. So 3 and then 4. 5 out of 5. Perfect. And this is what basically the reason you're doing it is because you get items out of it. But so something I've learned while being a student is that I learn pretty damn well. I'm just really bad at taking tests. And part of the issue is the issue is how big of a deal we make tests. Like, it genuinely is one of the, at least in America, I don't know about other countries, but in America, an example is we make a big deal in college about passing midterms and about passing final exams. Because we have basically made it so that the reason for us to get jobs is because, or let me rephrase that statement. The reason the tests, my brain didn't want to work on this sentence very well, apparently. We've got it into our heads that the make or break for us in terms of getting a good career is our education. Which is partially true. It is actually not as big of a... How do I want to say this? It's not as big of a deal as we are genuinely making it. Back when I was in college, it was very, 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 very pressed upon us that we get a good college education. Because then we were told we'll be able to get a job easier. The issue with that is because the issue with that is literally no. You are not guaranteed. This is for any college student watching. I am not trying to pressure you to drop out of college. I want you to understand something. You are not guaranteed a job fresh out of college. Start looking now. Explain to whatever job you want to work at, I am in college for X. I would like to work for your company. However, I am still in college. Is there an internship program with your company? Is there a way where I could work part-time at your company to get experience? I would like to work for your company in the future once I'm graduated. In America, we have an issue where you need experience in order to get into your job. However, we don't realize that the projects we work on in college are our experience. However, the issue with that is a lot of companies might not view it as such, when in fact it is actually the case. So, you as a college student need to work on getting your cancel evolution, press the B button. You in college need to work on finding internships and stuff like that to give yourself experience that hiring or HR in companies will view as proper experience. Even though, once again, technically speaking, any projects you've worked on, especially if you're doing like programming and stuff like that, is a form of experience. Because some companies will be like, oh, you don't have experience in working with this stuff. But what they're actually saying is, you don't have experience in an office. I'm giving weird examples, but like, and I'm also getting a little off track, but the reason we have this mentality is because too many people from older generations, I'm not saying it's entirely their fault, because technically speaking, what they are saying is true or was true. As times changed, things got more complicated. But we have the mentality of we need to do well, we need to get a good education in order to get a good job, and a part of the pass or fail aspect, i.e. the tests, is what causes us to have test anxiety and stuff like that. Some people aren't good with pressure. Especially if that pressure is massive. Like, oh, this midterm is worth 80% of your grade. Or this final is worth 90% of your grade. Like, if that much of a deal is placed on a single test, and you have students who are like, I need to pass this in order to get my degree, in order to get a good job, you're going to put that so much pressure on them that they're probably either going to blank on the test, which is an actual psychological thing that happens due to stress. It is a stress response. Or you're going to have issues with mental health, such as possible mental breakdowns and stuff like that. And the issue that a lot of people don't realize, and this is an issue I've noticed from all generations, is that because of the fact that we are different people, we deal with different levels of stress differently. For me, I can deal with stress relatively easily. I'm in a pretty stressful relationship right now, IRL, but I'm handling it pretty well. I tell myself what I need to do, and I figure it out, and I'm doing fine. I'm still a little stressed, but I'm not having a massive panic attack. Crap. This one is like it technically is 1 in 4,000, isn't it? Well, actually, it's no, like 1 in 4,096 or something like that. I'm glad they actually talk about shiny Pokemon too. That's not normally talked about in many of the games. But anyways, like I said, we are dealing with we as individuals deal with stress differently, and we also can handle different levels of stress. Some people can't handle stress at all. That doesn't make them worse people in general. That doesn't make them weak or anything like that. Because chances are, when they're not in a stressful situation, they can outwork anybody. And they can do a lot. But legitimately, due to the fact that a lot of people from different generations all feel like, oh, if you can't handle a little bit of stress, I can handle this level of stress, you're being a dick. There is nothing wrong with feeling stressed out. This is for everybody. If you are feeling stressed out, you're fine. You're doing fine. You will be fine. There's nothing wrong with being stressed out. It's a natural response. If you are having trouble focusing, if you are blanking out on tests, if any of that stuff is happening, take a breather. It's fine. It really isn't as big a deal as you're making it out to be. And the reason I say that is because you need to stop and take a moment and realize, yes, what I'm doing is important, but I can handle it. That is why sorry, I'm reading. Rotom! God, if I was carrying around a Heracross phone, that thing would be massive. But we need to stop putting so much stress on students, office workers. We need to stop putting stress on everybody. It'd be nice if we could live in a stress-free life that is very difficult to achieve for any country or any people. It is almost impossible. You would have to basically be mildly psychotic in order to get to that point. Actually, technically speaking, it would be sociopathic, but... But the thing is... we, as a country, as America... A reminder, I live in America. A lot of what I talk about is based on American knowledge. I do have a little bit of a reach outside... Not a reach, but like... I have a bit of an understanding outside of America on how some things work, but I don't have 100% knowledge. And if anybody's willing to share in the comments down below, I'd gladly listen and learn. I would love to listen and learn about other countries and how stuff works. I'd love to learn how their education systems work and how their... Well, I kind of want to say I want to learn how their government works, but I'm worried that'll just piss me off. Because human history, governments have not always been good for the people. And I'm saying, when I say that, I mean it's the full range of not very good. It can range from inconvenient to the U.S. government. Jokes aside, inconvenient to full-on dictatorship. Okay, so what do I got? How many of the following methods make it easier to catch a Pokemon? Surprising it from behind, not using a Poketoy, not feeding it berry, inflicting paralysis 2. True or false? You can get new Pokemon only by catching them yourself or training with other trainers. False, because you can be... Okay, so this one's weird. Because you can get new ones from eggs. I know that much. Oh, it's also including evolutions too. Okay, so yes, false. If your Pokemon's holding an Everstone, will using an item that includes evolution such as Firestone? No, because an Everstone prevents evolution. 1 in 4,000, I remember that. True or false? The Pokemon Orichalcum... No, it has 4 forms. Thank you for being our teacher. I will be nice. But no, seriously, I feel like we need to stop. We need to revamp a lot of education systems over here in America. Like, a lot. We need to make it so that public schools are a lot more funded. For one. What'd I get for this, by the way? I'm pretty sure I got 4. Evolution was the wrong one I got wrong. I'm almost certain evolution is the one I got wrong. Or no, the getting new Pokemon. Which one did I get wrong, actually? I'm gonna look that up. Pokemon Violet Biology Final. This is something that needs to happen with every school too, by the way. If you after a test has been done, give your students the ability to look at the answers that you provided. Don't go over it as a class, because that's going to bore the shit out of them. For the most part. Not everybody's the same. But if you offer them the ability to... Give me a second. I'm actually on it now. 2. False. Oh, it was the evolution one, but like... I guess so the question I got wrong was question 3, the Everstone and the Firestone. I guess with the way that the mechanics work, Everstone prevents them from evolving via level up, but not from evolving via items. And he probably said that during the class, and I was on a tirade, so not really a tirade, but more like a rant. So I didn't pay attention to it. So, whoops. But it's fine. You can also revisit classes. I don't think I get different items for getting better scores. Yes. Let's do some history. This is gonna suck. But the reason you let your students look at the tests, give your students access to the answers to the tests after the test has been completed. And the reason being is because it lets them see, number one, how you, as a teacher, want the questions answered, because that's always, there is a little bit of bias behind it, behind answers and stuff like that. Some teachers want you to show your work, which is absolutely stupid. Other teachers don't care, which those people are good. And the reason I say okay, so I want to point something out. The reason showing your work, there's two sides to this coin, and I'm going to tell you both. I'm going to say both of them, starting with the main reason. The main reason you have to show your work is to show the teacher that you understand how you got to that point. Because if you don't understand how to get to an answer, but you find the answer, it basically makes it seem like you cheated. That is the proper reasoning behind it. The reason that showing your work is stupid, though, in the long run is because it doesn't matter. The only reason that showing your answers matters is if you are working with scientists and you need to show them like how the experiment did what it did. The same thing with the math. Like, it only really matters in the heavily researched debate. It only matters in the research aspect of all the fields of careers. If the move water gun hits a fire type, it's doubled. This is a battle studies question. But that's why it's important to understand why. It's important to understand both sides, why a student would think that showing the work is stupid and why a teacher wants you to show the work. But the real issue isn't that you're showing the real issue isn't that the teacher is showing you your work. The issue is that oh, this is math. I'm dumb, not history. This is math. I'm stupid. That's why it was a damage calculation type thing. I'm actually pretty good at math, to be honest. The issue arises when professors start getting, like, college professors start getting, Nimona! College professors start getting on people's case about not showing their work. Another big issue I have with some of the stuff that goes on in classes is... Sorry. I needed a drink. I'm talking so much, my mouth is getting dry. Another big issue is when, okay, this one actually I need to focus on. Hang on. 10. Oh, right. I forgot. I hate this bitch. Okay. So, I'll just show you guys. So, the correct answer is actually 10. So, the issue is, it's how she worded it. So, this pisses me off to no end because it's a level of condescension. And this is one of the reasons I hate some teachers. So, you only ask that type of question? Okay, so I need to remind everybody, this character, I'm pulling it up now. Namona's like, what, 15? And she's in the class. So yeah, she's at the level of critical thinking. Protagonist age is about 14 to... There's no way this character is 18 years old. Their face is too round. So it's ranging from 10 to 18, so I'm going to say 14. Like, this character has not gone through any form of puberty yet. Arven has started going through puberty, but I think this character, like this person specifically, the player character, has only started going through puberty at age, or has already only started. Oh my goodness, I can't talk to save my life. They're probably a late bloomer. Let me put it that way. If they're 18 and they look like this, they are definitely a late bloomer. They are not. I don't think they're growing any further than this. But no. So the issue with that kind of question that she asked, the way she worded it, if I'm remembering the wording correctly, for 2,000, how many Pokeballs would you get? So we run into semantic issues here. First and foremost, the way the question is worded, technically speaking, yes, you would only get 11 because you would get the 10 Pokeballs of any kind. Or well, she was asking about the Pokeball specifically. 10 Pokeballs, and then you would get a Premier Ball for free, because that's how it works. In fact, let's go ahead and revisit this class. I want to talk about this. I want to explain my rage properly. Okay. So let's just blaze through as much of this as possible. Excuse me. Shut up. I want to remind myself how she words this. 200 each. And bought as many as you could afford, Pokeballs as you could afford. How many would you receive? Here's where semantic issue number 2 comes in. Every one of the capturing devices in the Pokemon series is classified as a Pokeball. So, once again, her answer is correct. Yes, you would get 11 Pokeballs. However, if you were being technical about it, and in a setting like this, you would get 20 regular Pokeballs. 10 regular Pokeballs. You would get a Premier Ball for free. So, 11. This is why I hate Pokemon. It's because, for the love of all that is holy, just name them, put the category as capturing devices. 11. So, the issue with the statement is the way it's worded. If you don't read it carefully, you screw it up. And that's how math actually is generally worded in schools, because Lord forbid we make anything super easy. And I genuinely hate being told that I'm wrong. if I work through, like, my rage has already subsided with me dealing with her. But if I'm told how I'm wrong, I'm less irritated by it. However, delivery of you telling me I'm wrong is a big factor in how long I stay angry. Because if you are condescending about it to me, I will be livid with you. I hate condescension. Which is ironic because I'm condescending as fuck to people. Well, not to people, but to people who are... People like Bede are a good example. And Gita are a good example. People I genuinely don't like, I will be condescending to. I try not to be anymore because it's just kind of not worth it, but, like, sometimes it comes out. Anyways, I've babbled long enough, and I'm going to call it here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That way you see more content like this in the future. And if you come back on the regular and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It's free. It helps out a ton. I'm greatly appreciative. And next episode, we probably won't do as many tests or classes. I might do one of each of the classes, just to show you all what it's like. And then after that, I'll probably do the rest of them off camera, just to get the goodies from it. I don't know if I will, to be honest. I'd like to do them all for you guys, but that will require, like, several different episodes. Because, like, one episode, we only got through, like, 1.25 of the classes. But next episode, we'll probably do some more of the character interactions to get more going from them. We also might deal with... Oh shit, I actually have to do the history class. I might show you guys the history... No, I can't do that because that requires a lot of running around trying to find stuff, and that would be boring for you guys to watch. Although you could use it as a guide. Maybe. I'll think about that one. Anyways, if you could share this video with your friends, your family, your favorite group of classmates, I'd appreciate that as well. And as always, I will see you as we continue our adventures in Pokemon Violet, the Bug-type Gym Leader run. Bye-bye!